Welcome to the Kicking It Forward podcast with our special servant leader series. I am interviewing today the one and only Leslie Huffman from Fairmont State University. Now, you might know that by looking her up, but what you won't know is that she is a Big Mac queen and a Crunch Wrap queen. And also, she loves to do puzzles. Leslie, how you doing? How you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm doing great. I'm fresh off practice and lift.
I love it. So the adrenaline's coming down a little bit, getting
Oh
ready for
yeah.
the weekend, all of that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being a servant leader and embodying everything that the award is about. So thank you for that. And I want to ask you, Leslie, as we kick this off, what is servant leadership to you?
Servant leadership to me is probably just putting those around you in front of yourself. It's about listening and recognizing the needs of your teammates and just in life in general, what they need to succeed and do their best and how you can uplift them. And sometimes on the floor, that means doing the little things that might not show up on a stat sheet. So that's kind of what
Very
it
cool.
means to me.
Yeah, putting others before you and the little things that don't show up on the stat sheet. Now, as a servant leader, doing the stuff that you do on the court is amazing and that's why we're here. But I want you to talk about the off the court stuff that you do that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, if you will. What are those community service projects? What are those things that you did that really touched your soul and really got you excited?
I have to attribute a lot of that, I think, to my nursing program here at Fairmont State. A lot of that has helped me kind of outreach into the community. I had a rotation the other day where we went to the soup opera here that's local. And so I got to talk a lot with our community members and, some of those people who kind of fall between the cracks we don't get to see day to day. Um, Aside from that, giving back to the community, making sure I can make it to a local church around here or trying to go to our fundraisers, thank our donors for what they do and how they support us. Um, Other than that, just wherever I can fill in, I try to make it a priority to thank those who are giving to me. They play a big role.
So what helped shape that? Because I don't think, in my personal opinion, the heart of a servant leader is just something that shows up one day. Like, oh, I'm playing basketball now. Let me be a servant leader. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
who or what has shaped your servant leadership?
I think my family, I come from a small town. I have four brothers and one sister. So I've kind of lived my whole life trying to figure out what they need before I need and how I can facilitate and help my parents out. So I think to me families always come first. Anyone that knows me will tell you that's kind of how I operate. And so I think that's kind of where I gained my foundation for leadership.
That's amazing. And I believe that we are who we are because of who raised us and who loved us. So kudos to your family, kudos to your support system. Now, as a servant leader, a lot of people look up to you. And you might not think that, you might not believe that, but people do look up to you. And especially you're going to be wearing the patch all year, the servant leader patch. So I want you to talk about like your impact. What impact do you hope people gain from your servant leadership?
I hope that people grow from my
Mm,
leadership, whether that means mentally, physically, just their attitude approaching the game. If I could have one teammate come back to me years later and say, you believed in me when nobody else did, you helped me achieve what I wanted to, then to me, that means I succeeded in my role. And I hope that my impact and my voice lasts a lot longer than when I graduate here.
that's good. That's deep. That's good. Deep on a Friday. I love it. And I have to ask because you are a hooper through and through. We talked about, live, sleeping, eating ball.
Yeah.
When you're on the court, you have those amazing, feelings of adulation. Like you make a shot, you go on a run, you have that momentum. When you're serving or outside of that, when do you get those feelings of joy from your servant leadership?
I just think when I see people enjoying life, just the little things, whether it's being with their family, being with friends, I just think anything people have joy doing, and I can see that their effort and their attitude and things are coming outside of the floor. That's where I realized that it's so much bigger than the sport.
Mm, yes. Now, you're a senior, correct?
Yeah.
So you've been around a little bit. What is your leadership style? Are you in their face? Are you saying, "Hey, come on, we got to do this"? Are you that's going to pull people to the side and say, "Hey, on that you missed that point, you missed that." What kind of leader are you?
I try to be adaptive, I think, to the person I'm trying to lead. I think at first I tried to kind of be a stricter approach, trying to tell everybody this is how it is, this is the standard. You either show up or you go home. And through the process, I've realized that not everyone responds to that. And so there are kids that you have to pull to the side and say, hey, this is what you could be doing better. This is what I need from you today. Is there something going on outside of practice that I need to know about? Are you feeling sick? I try to communicate. I guess maybe communication in my
Mm,
leadership is where I try to resort to now, try to talk to and see what they need from me instead of trying to make everyone fit my leadership style.
got it. But you're not like the in the face type of
No,
leader. Okay. And that
no,
that doesn't it doesn't seem like that's your personality.
no. I try not to be, but I'm not saying there aren't times that we get in a game and I might say something, but
Oh yeah, well when you're in the heat of the battle, obviously,
yeah,
there's going to be some different things there, but yeah, I love that being adaptive to the people and communicating. I believe communication is a lead skill. Now, as we kind of wind down the interview, Leslie, I want to ask you specifically as it relates to basketball, because I mean you're using your platform, and we thank you for that. You watch basketball? Do you like to watch it? Because I know some people that play don't always watch.
I really don't turn many games on until we get to like March Madness. I
Wow.
will watch our film and scrimmages and the occasional rivalry, but other than that, it's probably reels or TikToks of good plays. So
Wow. So
yeah,
you don't just usually outside of film, you
yeah,
don't just sit down and say, "Hey, let me watch this 2.5 hour game."
no, no. I feel like I get my fair share of basketball from playing and film sessions for sure.
Absolutely. Well, if you could assess, and I don't like asking the whole who's the GOAT and all that stuff, but when you do sit down and watch a game or something like that, who are your five favorite players to watch at any level, men's, women's, doesn't matter.
Five favorite players. All right, I'm gonna go Paige Weckers. I love her, and I'm gonna stay on the Yukon train and go. I might say her name wrong. Az Fudd,
AZ, yep.
Cooper Flag. I'm staying with the younger generation right now.
All
Uh,
good. All
I
good.
do love the occasional throwback. I can't say I've watched many complete games, but Larry Bird and Michael Jordan.
Very cool. Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. I think the new generation, you all have a fresh crop. But I think to your point, there's less long form watching than
yeah,
back in my day. As they say, back in my day, we didn't have TikTok that we could watch the highlights of everything, and ESPN, of course, was around. I'm not that old, but ESPN and stuff was around. But if you didn't have that particular channel or you missed that show, then you
yeah,
missed some of the highlights. And now y'all can watch highlights on demand. So,
yeah.
but those are great ballers. And as we get you out of here with this, connecting it back to servant leadership, we talked about your five favorite players to watch. If you were to sit down at a dinner table and have just five leaders or five minds that are still alive,
Yeah,
who would you like at that table?
this is a tough question. I might not be able to give you five.
I think you can. I believe you can. Think about, and I'm going to help you. Think
Okay.
about family. Think
Okay.
about coaches. Think about, celebrities you admire, or like think about all those different people.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go. I want Michael Jordan at that table.
Okay.
Um, Gino Ariama.
Gino's good. Yep.
Yeah, I actually got his autograph when I was little, and I called him Gmo. Uh, I snuck right past the security guard, and I was like, Gmo, Gmo. But yeah, if I got another chance and I knew his name, I'd definitely have him at my table. Um, whew, let's go coaches. Mm,
What about a few of your favorite players to watch? Any of them you want at that table?
I would talk to Cooper Flag. You know,
Got
being as
Coop.
young as he is and what he's accomplished so far is amazing. And that can be said for a lot of the people I named. So, but
Two
I'm
more.
gonna go my dad. I want him sitting at that table.
Shout out to Pops.
Yeah, I just want to hear what he has to say. And I'm gonna go. He was actually my sister's AAU coach. I can't give you his last name right now, and it'll probably hit me later. But his name's Carlos, and he coaches for SMAC. But
Coach Carlos.
yeah, Coach Carlos, he is a great guy, and he's supported me through and through with basketball, and he stays in touch to this day. He's a great leader, so he's somebody I'd want there.
Awesome. Well, you're going to be at a lot of people's tables as a servant leader, and we just applaud all the work that you've done. And we are so excited that you are a part of this year's class of servant leaders. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. I appreciate everything you guys stand for and your recognition of my contribution.
For sure. And for those of you watching, make sure you continue to tune in to the Kicking It Forward podcast and all of our servant leader interviews with great people like Leslie. So we will see y'all on the next one. Peace.